Ace of Swords. This is a victory card, yes, because we have the victory wreaths here. But this is about truth, clarity, communication, your way of communicating, coming clean about something. Now, we also have to cut things out when the Ace of Swords comes in. It's the opportunity to, I think, clear the air. That's how I see the Ace of Swords. You know, an opportunity to clear the air about something. And that's what September represents for you. It may be a new way of thinking, a new perspective on something, but it's brand new energy that's coming in. And you have two aces on either side of this, right? So this is our thought processes. I mean, swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So all of that is new and fresh, and a new cycle's beginning. And it kind of ends with the Ace of Wands, which is our passions, our creativity. So beautiful energy. I do say this sometimes when I see the Ace of Swords, especially with this kind of energy, which is the pen is mightier than the sword. So it's about the words that we use, the truths that we come out with. Sometimes this can be a very creative kind of writer's energy. If you're creating something, I don't know if you have a blog, if you write things, whatever, it can be that kind of energy. I think Cancer a few weeks ago got something similar to this. But we have the King of Pentacles coming up at the heart of your reading. Very much your energy, very much about your security, your stability. The thing is, when we have our own energy coming up at the heart of a reading, because that's the focus, this is about coming back to you. What is your truth? Who are you now? It's almost very like the whole kind of King and Queen of Swords energy coming up here, but it's your energy, and that's, we have to look at why that card came up. I think it would be very easy to say that, you know, oh, it's about you're focused on your finances or you're focused on this. But the fact is that you're not focused on that. You're not focused. You're focusing on your security and your stability. Yes, very much so. But you're also focusing on yourself. Who are you? Who have you become? What represents security and stability for you? What are your traditions? What are your beliefs now? There's a newness here, you know, whatever experiences you've been through. And we have two cards. I mean, think about it. I'll try to explain it. As a reader, I kind of pick it up straight away, but it's the kind of hard part of reading, I guess, is conveying the message in the way that it comes through. So if that's you in the middle and you're focusing on who you are now, what represents security and stability for you, we have two cards either side of you, which talk about a change in perspective. You see things differently now. I mean, you've gone through this, the Hanged Man. Things have been stuck in limbo. You've been hanging there. Maybe you've been waiting for some information. But this is, you know, a change in your perspective. I think you've been waiting for something and it couldn't come through until you were ready to take it the way it was going to come through. And I know that sounds really obscure, but that's how I'm seeing this, because that's where it comes through, the Three of Wands. That's where the news comes in. Whatever it is that you've been waiting for, it comes through. But it's like you weren't ready for it. You weren't ready for it. It's almost like, you know, if I say to you, I'm going to give you that sports car that you want, that Ferrari that you want, you can have it, but if you can't drive yet, if you've never practiced driving in I don't know, an old bashed up car or whatever it is, if you've not been, why would I give you that Ferrari yet? And it's almost like you weren't ready to face this truth, or you weren't ready to hear this. You might have wanted to hear it. You might have wanted the understanding. You might have known that it was lacking, but you weren't prepared for it. And now you are. Coming up as the King of Pentacles at the heart of your reading, you absolutely are ready. You are prepared for this. Now, this is very spiritual energy. Some of you may have had a shift in your spirituality. You have a new truth now that kind of supports you. That you have a deeper understanding of who you are. That's the main thing here. I mean, I can't stress that enough. This is all about you. What gives you security, Capricorn? And you're very good at providing security for other people. You're very good at being stable for other people. General reading, though, it can go both ways, right? So, you know, understand that maybe you're dealing with someone else that they kind of finally understand what brings them security or stability. But I tend to read for the people that I'm reading for, and that's you. That's your energy that's there. Now, if that's someone else, if you're focused on someone else, they're very much on the same wavelength as you, very much on the same vibration as you. When we get our own element coming up, that's someone that we connect with, that, wow, this person gets me. You know, they're coming from the same place as me. They have the same values as me. They think the same way as me. So they can be that. But we look at the past to understand why we're in the present, right? So in the past, last week, last month, last year, whatever, It's about understanding, the understanding of why did I have to wait? Why was I stuck in limbo? What was I waiting for? Feels like September, it comes through. That the truth that you've been trying to understand, something clears up. There's clarity here. Feels like a victory. Feels like a victory because of the Ace of Swords. Now, where does that lead? Well, it leads to the Four of Cups. And, you know, this is typical. You suddenly realize something. You suddenly have that epiphany. You suddenly have that clarity. And so many signs have been getting this kind of epiphany, clarity. Oh my God, I finally understand kind of energy. And what kind of happens is for you is a number of different things. This can play out in a different ways for, obviously it's general. But the Three Cups here, they always represent to me whatever the options are that we're considering, right? And it's almost like with this truth or clarity or understanding who you are, they don't throw you. They're not what you want. I said this, I don't know who else got this, but this is what I said to them as well, that, you know, when the Four of Cups comes up, it's looking at what's available to you. And if these cups were even remotely appealing to this guy, he'd reach out and grab one of them, but they're not. He's dejected. He doesn't want them. He wants that cup. The fourth cup that's coming in, which is the Ace of Cups, a new emotional beginning. Something is not emotionally fulfilling you. And I think you've tried to make it emotionally fulfill you, or you've ignored it thinking it wasn't important. And now it is. This is the card that comes up in the present. The present is always the most important placement for me. You know, it's shocking to me how many times people ask for readings and the whole reading is about, will this happen? So basically they're just focused on the one card in the future, which this is the most changeable energy in a reading. Everything points towards this. This is the point of power, the present. We look at the past to show us why we're here. Whatever this perspective is, whatever you've gained from this is surrendering to something. This might be sacrifice. You've had to sacrifice something. Whatever it is, whatever this was for you, it's led you to a place where you feel stuck now. Nothing appeals to you. You don't like the options that you have. The good news is there is this fourth option coming in. But why does this guy not see that card? Why does he not see it? Well, first of all, it may be because he doesn't believe, he thinks it's too good to be true that it's not going to come in, right? But I think even with that, you know, there's Ace of Swords here. There's a truth to this. Maybe this is cutting away those three cups. And the three cups on the floor, they can be the Three of Cups, which is the people that you're around, you know, your network of support. Maybe people that you were hanging around with and you thought they were going to be there for you. And you just kind of think, I don't really like hanging out with these people. Why am I hanging out with them? I want something true, you know. I want something that appeals to me at an emotional level, a spiritual level. The Ace of Cups is emotional growth. It's new happiness. It's a new way of feeling. That's very much what your focus is on. Whatever's there for you at the moment, it doesn't appeal to you. It doesn't appeal to you. And I think once you acknowledge that and cut it out, because that's what that sword's for, right? That sword comes down and removes whatever is not working. That's when you're prepared with this Three of Wands energy. And I love this. This is my favorite depiction of the Three of Wands ever. And I say that whenever this guy comes up, he's amazing. He's fabulous. He's got that whole kind of bring it vibe. Just bring it. He's ready for it. Usually it's like waiting for your ships to come in. He has a whole armada coming towards him. And he's ready for it. He's waiting at the shoreline, waiting for these to come in. He knows what's on the ships. And he knows what he's going to do with it. And I love his stance here and the muscles bunched in his back. That whole kind of, he's limbered up. He's ready for it. And that's you. That's a big change, right? To go from the Four of Cups to the Three of Wands. What the hell happened to go from this stuck energy? You commit to something. You commit to something. And that's just the whole thing. I was talking about tradition. This is about tradition. This is about what we conform to. Another very spiritual card. It can be about what our beliefs are. But it's about commitment. We conform to this. Whatever it is, we conform to it. We decide to. You know, we pick a religion that we want to believe in. We pick that school that we want to attend. We pick that company that we want to work with. This is rules, regulations, traditions. This is commitment. And it's saying to you that once you make that commitment, once you decide that this is for me, this is my path, this is what I believe, this is what... And this is also being part of... Again, there's this kind of groups thing coming up. Because that's the Three of Cups there. In the Four of Cups. You know, the three cups on the floor. That represents the Three of Cups. But the Hierophant is also when we're part of a larger whole, right? There's other people in this. The people of the same religion as us, the people that we study with, the people that we work with. It's that as well. We're part of that group. But it feels like once you commit, you commit. And this is the card for Taurus. We have kind of double Taurus energy. Some of you might be dealing with a Taurus as well. Once you commit to that, then obviously, then you know what to expect, right? Because right now with the stuck thing, you don't know what to expect because you don't see the options. But in the Three of Wands, he does. Now, what gets you to this? We have another card that kind of tells you what gets you to this Three of Wands. And that's the Ace of Wands. That's the advice. The advice is it's another new beginning. So we have opportunities coming in for you. We have the aces are always opportunities. But they're doorways. We choose whether we walk through them or not. And that's why it's been so important to know the old you, who you thought you were, these wouldn't have been opportunities to that old you. The new you, yes, there are opportunities. This is for your passion, your creativity. What is getting you so passionate? And it kind of feels like it's something that you finally surrendered to. Maybe you kind of knew it all along, but you weren't surrendering to that. Like you didn't want to see it almost. I don't know why that's coming in for you. Because it's that Four of Cups. It's the acknowledgement. It's the turning around and saying, well, yes, I commit to that cup. I commit to that new beginning. You almost have like three aces here. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, and that's the Ace of Cups in the card. And it's like once you commit to it, once you say, yes, that's mine. Yes, that's what I want. Then you get back what you expect, right? Then it's that return that you've wanted, that you've been waiting for so long. Very interesting reading, Capricorn. I like it. Feels like there's a few missing parts, but I mean, obviously in a general reading, there would be, because there's going to be different steps. Some of you are going to meet someone and you commit to that person, and that's what opens everything up for you. Some of you finally acknowledge that you hate your work and you want to go do something completely different. That's what opens up that creative path for you. For others of you, it's finally speaking your truth. Maybe you've been kind of away somewhere. I mean, I always see this, you know, the yogis that go off into the jungle on that kind of a spirit walk, or they go there to kind of meditate and get some epiphany or enlightenment. There's that. And maybe you've removed yourself from a situation. Now it's time to come back and speak your truth. That's what I was getting, that energy of coming back. So we have reconciliation coming up here. Excuse me. I've had an awful cough and I've been drinking lots of tea and honey, but I'll still coming up because I've been talking all day. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life now. Before people start freaking out and thinking, you know, I don't want an evil ex back. I don't want this. This can be about reconciliation. What is that? Reconciling your differences, you know, getting closure. For some people, it's getting closure. For others of you, I mean, with the Four of Cups, there's always that thing of, has someone sent someone a message? Has someone sent someone a message of love? Has someone spoken their truth and someone's not known what to do with it? There is that. When it says someone from your past is returning to your life now, what's your past? Do you see what I mean? Like I say, last week, last month, last year. This can be when a situation that we're in currently, it reminds us of someone from the past. Someone's come into our life. They remind us of someone from our past. And we have to reconcile what happened in our past to be able to move forward into the future. You do that. You very clearly do that. But you do that when you stop trying to go for options that don't. I think some of you have you feel like you've missed out on a chance, either with someone or even just to love. Like, you know, maybe if that ex is gone, never coming back, you might not want that person back, but you want what you had with that person back, right? But it's there, guys. It is there. Stop kind of settling. This to me is someone who's trying to settle sometimes. And they clearly don't want to settle for what's in front of them. You don't need to settle. It's an interesting energy though, with reconciliation coming in. So it can be, some of you will be getting back together with someone that you want to get back with, because there's commitment here. You commit, right? Others, it's just reconciling differences, getting the closure that you need to move forward. Speaking the truth. Sometimes maybe we've been waiting for some explanation or some truth that comes in, or we get to say our piece and move on. Like attracts like. If you're longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. Yes, absolutely. If you want the truth from someone, we speak the truth. We want passion, we raise our vibration, Ace of Wands. We get back what we expect. Like attracts like. There's no surprises in the Three of Wands. And it's not just about waiting to see what happens. This guy has a plan. He's prepared. He's ready. He's done the work. The Ace of Wands is the work. You start off with that. You have your spark. You have your energy that goes out first. Then the Two of Wands, you take that in a different direction. I know it's not there, but it's kind of implied when we go from the Ace to the Three. And then the Three of Wands is like, okay, so what am I getting back from this? And I kind of feel it totally resonates with you, totally resonates with your truth, totally is something to do with your security and your stability, which that can be a job, that can be a relationship, that can be whatever you feel adds to your stability. Tangible representations, right? Things that we can see, feel, and touch. Maybe someone overseas for you. This is a relationship. It can be that. I mean, the other thing with the Hierophant, I will say this, is the Hierophant can sometimes talk about our traditions, yes, but what we're taught, our families might tell us that you have to be with someone who's from the same culture as you, or we're all doctors, so you're going to be a doctor as well. You might not want to be. So you pick what you conform to. Your religion might tell you get married to someone from the same religion as you, or, you can't get divorced. Once you're with that person, you're with that person. But you might not agree with that. Society might tell you that you can't date someone from a different culture. They might tell you, you're not allowed to do that, whatever your sexual orientation is, or that, the age difference thing. But you decide what your traditions are. You conform to them. That's very important to remember. No one forces us to do this. We conform ourselves. And I feel like that's what it is. You get your head around something. All that glitters, right? All that glitters. How does the saying go? All that glitters isn't gold, right? Now, we see these masks on this pile of gold. This is about removing the mask as well. Speaking the truth. This is, and it doesn't have to be anything nefarious. It doesn't have to be lies or someone trying to deceive you. It doesn't have to be that. But this may be, when we meet someone new and they're not actually that funny, but we don't want to be rude and we want to make a good impression. So we laugh a little harder at their jokes. They're not that funny though, but it's us that's not really being very genuine. So this asks you to be authentic, remove the mask, show who you truly are. Who are you, Capricorn? Who have you become? Is it time to take that out into the world now? And this is about seeing other people for what they are, looking beyond the surface. Not just looking at how they present themselves, not just looking at how they dress or, are they fat, are they skinny, or whatever the stupid stuff is that we judge people by, the ego stuff that we judge people by. It's about looking beyond that and showing who you truly are as well. I do love all that glitters. It's not just about lies and secrets and stuff. It's about being authentic. And I'm big on that. If you follow me on social media and you followed my channel for a while, I'm always harping on about being authentic. So from the wisdom of the House of Night, we have the fledgling. And this is number 1 in, obviously it's the first card. So this is about learning something new, doing something completely different. And, it kind of very much, correlates with the aces that we have here and that Ace of Cups that's kind of showing in here. This might be something that's totally new for you, and good on you for attempting it. And what I mean by that is it's new. It's not just, starting a new job, starting a new relationship. It's not that. This is a brand new you that you're bringing out into the world. You're the fledgling, and the fledgling learns their way, and they're open to learning. They're open to seeing what happens. They're open to the new experiences that are coming in. And that's kind of your reading. That's the energy that's coming off your reading as well. All right, let's get you a postcard from Spirit. It says, Dearest you, if you allow your awareness to settle in, you will hear us whispering sweetness and encouragement to you. You will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the material world. This is big on truth, guys. This is big on, think about all that glitters. Think about, the Ace of Swords. This is all about and the King of Pentacles that came up like up front, center, straight from the beginning. This is a month of truth, expressing your truth, understanding the truth, seeing the truth. And it says, you will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the material world. And he is all about the material world, right? The receiver for this kind of essential knowing is your intuition, which is not your sixth sense, but your first, the primary navigational system of your soul. You are entering the age of consciousness. It's time to accept that the paranormal is normal. Human beings are multisensory, multidimensional beings. Spirit infuses all things, and your soul's job is to discover those essential truths here on earth, where we all agree to play. Today, trust your spidey sense, read between the lines, tune into the stories behind the stories, and your world will show you miracles. Fear not, we are right here and Spirit loves you. Trust the invisible. All that glitters isn't gold, right? Get behind the mask. Reveal yourself. Take off the mask. Big month of truths. That's what's coming up here. And, even with reconciliation, if some of you may not want to go back, but it's about reconciling your differences with that, understanding what happened, getting that closure. There's a lot of that. This could even refer to the hanged man. You've already done that. But there is a moment, I don't want to just skip over that, with the Four of Cups, where you're going to feel stuck. You're going to be stuck in that place, and I've been there myself, where you have this truth and you don't know how to reconcile it with the world that you live in, the life that you live in. Well, if I've become this person, well, what does that mean for this relationship? What does that mean for the work that I do? What does that mean for my friendships, for my social circle? But you're strong, guys. You're strong. Like, you're coming up right here. Keep the focus on yourself. Focus on your own truth, what your intuition's telling you. Go forward with your sword raised high, It's a victory card, and there will be a victory out of that.